January 30th, 2026. Todd Monken walks into the Cleveland Browns facility for the first time as head coach. Shedeur Sanders is waiting for him. They embrace. Then, Monkin drops a bomb that nobody saw coming. "We tried to draft your ass last year." Shedeur's face lights up. The video goes viral. Because what Todd Monken just revealed is the most important secret in the NFL right now. The Baltimore Ravens, with Lamar Jackson already on their roster, tried to draft Shedeur Sanders. The offensive coordinator who turned Lamar into a two-time MVP wanted Shedeur that badly. And now he's coaching him in Cleveland. This is not a coincidence. This is destiny. And what just happened at the Pro Bowl is only the beginning.
The video is only 10 seconds long, but it reveals everything. Todd Monken, the newly hired Cleveland Browns head coach, meeting Shedeur Sanders for the first time at the team facility. The handshake turns into a hug. Then Monken says the words that sent shockwaves through the entire NFL. "We tried to draft your ass last year. You remember that, right? Someday we'll get a chance to talk about that." Shedeur smiles. He remembers, because Shedeur Sanders knows exactly what happened on draft night 2025, when the Baltimore Ravens were sitting at pick 141 and had him circled on their board. He knows that Todd Monken was in that war room advocating for the Ravens to select him. He knows that 3 picks later, when Baltimore passed, the Cleveland Browns grabbed him at 144. And now, 9 months after that draft, fate has brought them together anyway. This is the story nobody is talking about. This is the connection that changes everything for the Cleveland Browns. And this is why Shedeur Sanders, making the Pro Bowl after one of the worst statistical rookie seasons in recent memory, actually makes perfect sense. Because Todd Monken sees what the stats don't show. He sees what happened on film at Colorado when Shedeur completed 74% of his passes. He sees the arm talent, the mental processing speed, the accuracy, the leadership. He sees a franchise quarterback trapped in the wrong system with the wrong coaching staff during his rookie year, and now Monken is here to fix it. Let me take you inside what's really happening in Cleveland right now, because what you're about to hear will change how you see the Browns' future forever. The Cleveland Browns finished 5-12 in 2025. They fired two-time Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski after another disappointing season. They cycled through 3 different starting quarterbacks, Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. None of them looked like the answer. The offense ranked 31st in scoring, dead last the year before. It was a disaster. Then, on January 29, 2026, the Browns shocked the NFL by hiring Todd Monken as their new head coach. 68 years old, first-time head coach, coming off 3 years as the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator, where he called plays for Lamar Jackson and helped him win his second MVP award in 2023. The hire seemed strange to outsiders. Monken didn't interview with any of the other 9 teams that had head coaching openings this cycle. He was Cleveland's guy and only Cleveland's guy. Why? Because the Browns had a plan that revolved around one player, a 5th-round quarterback who the rest of the NFL had written off, but who Todd Monken knew could be special. Shedeur Sanders. When Monken arrived at the Browns facility on January 30th, Shedeur was there waiting to meet him. The cameras were rolling, and what happened next became the most important 10-second clip in Browns history. "We tried to draft your ass last year." That confession from Monken wasn't just small talk, it was a declaration. It was Monken telling Shedeur and the entire football world that he believed in this kid when nobody else did. That he advocated for drafting him in Baltimore, that he sees a future superstar where others see a struggling rookie, that this partnership was always meant to happen. Shedeur's response? Pure gratitude and excitement. He knows what it means to finally have a coach who truly believes in him, who wanted him from day one, who sees the potential that got buried under a terrible offensive system in his rookie year. And that's when everything started to make sense. The Pro Bowl selection that confused everyone, the Browns' confidence in Shedeur despite his rough stats, the hiring of a coach who runs an offense perfectly suited to Shedeur's skill set. It all connects. This is the untold story of Shedeur Sanders and Todd Monken, and it's about to become the most important relationship in the NFL. Shedeur Sanders' rookie season was a nightmare. Let's be honest about it. He completed just 56.6% of his passes, dead last among all qualified starting quarterbacks in the NFL. His passer rating was 68.1, second worst in the league. He threw 10 interceptions in just 7 starts, more picks than touchdowns. The Browns went 3-4 with him under center. By every statistical measure, Shedeur Sanders had one of the worst rookie quarterback seasons in recent NFL history. ESPN's QBR metric ranked him 46th out of qualified passers with an impact score of 56.9. That's not just bad, that's historically awful. So when the NFL announced that Shedeur Sanders had been selected to the Pro Bowl as an injury replacement for Drake May, the football world lost its mind. Social media erupted. Analysts questioned whether the Pro Bowl even meant anything anymore. Former players called it a participation trophy. The criticism was brutal and relentless. ESPN's Marcus Spears went on air and said Shedeur's Pro Bowl selection was about marketing, not performance. Rich Eisen said he was amazed by the choice. Stephen A. Smith debated whether Deion Sanders' influence played a role. The narrative was clear. Shedeur didn't deserve this honor. It was a joke, a publicity stunt, proof that the Pro Bowl had become meaningless. But here's what all those critics missed. Here's what the stats don't show. Here's the truth that Todd Monken saw when he studied Shedeur's film. Shedeur Sanders was playing in the wrong system with the wrong coaching staff for his skill set. Kevin Stefanski's offense didn't maximize what Shedeur does best. The timing was off. The concepts didn't fit. The play calling didn't utilize his strengths. Shedeur was set up to fail from day one. And yet, despite all of that, there were flashes, moments where Shedeur looked exactly like the quarterback who dominated at Colorado, games where his talent was undeniable, throws that only elite passers can make. Week 13, Tennessee Titans. Shedeur threw for 364 yards and 3 touchdowns. He added a rushing score. It was a historic performance, the third most passing yards ever by a Browns rookie in a single game. No player in franchise history had ever combined 300-plus passing yards, 3 touchdown passes, and a rushing score in the same game before Shedeur did it. That performance ranked as the 6th most passing yards by a rookie quarterback in the entire decade. Shedeur joined Joe Burrow, C.J. Stroud, and Justin Herbert as the only rookies to post at least 350 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing score in a single game. In that moment, Shedeur showed the world what Todd Monken already knew. This kid can play. The talent is real. The potential is elite. He just needs the right system and the right coaching. And that's exactly what Shedeur said after his Pro Bowl selection was announced. When reporters asked him where he felt he improved most during his rookie year, his answer wasn't about stats or mechanics. It was about something deeper. Mentally, just sticking through it, emotions and all that type of stuff. Mental toughness, emotional resilience, the ability to survive the storm and come out stronger on the other side. That's what Shedeur developed in his rookie year. That's what can't be measured by completion percentage or passer rating. That's what separates quarterbacks who flame out from quarterbacks who become superstars. Shedeur continued, "Overall, it helped me get to myself quicker. I think I'm almost there. I think I'm almost back to myself fully, emotionally, mentally, and physically." Back to himself.
Think about what he's saying. The draft process knocked him off balance, falling to the 5th round. The anonymous coach calling him entitled and not that good. The prank call on draft night, the criticism, the doubt. All of it affected him emotionally and mentally in ways that impacted his rookie performance. But now he's finding his way back. He's rediscovering the confidence that made him great at Colorado, the swagger that comes from knowing you're elite, the mental clarity that allows you to play fast and free.
And when Shedeur Sanders gets all the way back to himself, with Todd Monken calling plays designed specifically for his skill set, the NFL better be ready. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, hit that button right now, because what I'm about to reveal about Todd Monken's plan for Shedeur is going to blow your mind. Todd Monken has spent the last 3 years as the Baltimore Ravens offensive coordinator. In 2023, his offense helped Lamar Jackson win his 2nd NFL MVP award. Lamar threw for 4,128 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 67% completion, 102.7 passer rating. He was unstoppable. But here's what people don't understand about what Monken did with Lamar. He didn't try to change him. He didn't try to make Lamar a traditional pocket passer. He built an offensive system around Lamar's unique strengths. RPOs, play-action bootlegs, designed rollouts, quick game concepts that got the ball out fast, spacing that allowed playmakers to make plays. Monken maximized Lamar's talent by putting him in position to succeed, by calling plays that fit what Lamar does best, by designing an offense that utilized his mobility, his arm talent, his processing speed. The result? MVP. Now apply that same philosophy to Shedeur Sanders. At Colorado, Shedeur thrived in a spread offense with quick reads and hot routes. He completed 74% of his passes because the system maximized his accuracy and decision-making. He threw 64 touchdowns in 2 years because he was in rhythm, seeing the field clearly, delivering accurate throws to receivers in space. In Cleveland, under Kevin Stefanski, that rhythm disappeared. The system didn't fit. Shedeur's completion percentage dropped to 56.6%. The interceptions piled up. He looked lost. Not because his talent disappeared, but because he was being asked to run an offense that didn't play to his strengths. Todd Monken is about to change all of that. He's going to build an offense around Shedeur's abilities. Quick game, rhythm throws, pre-snap reads, get the ball out fast. Use weapons like Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku in space. Let Shedeur's accuracy and processing shine. The blueprint already exists. Monken did it with Lamar. He knows how to turn a talented but raw quarterback into an MVP-caliber player. And Shedeur Sanders has all the tools to follow that same path. During Todd Monken's introductory press conference on February 3rd, reporters immediately asked the question everyone wanted answered. Is Shedeur Sanders your starting quarterback? Monken's response was calculated and revealing. Well, I think like any position on the team, that's still to be determined. Am I excited about Shedeur? Am I excited about all the quarterbacks in the room? Yes, but we're going to evaluate everything. Competition makes everyone better. To be determined. That phrase sent Browns fans into a frenzy. Some people interpreted it as doubt about Shedeur. Others thought Monken was leaving the door open to draft another quarterback or sign a veteran. But here's what that answer really meant. Shedeur Sanders is going to earn the starting job. Not because Monken doesn't believe in him, but because Monken knows that quarterbacks who earn their position play with more confidence and hunger than those who are handed the role. When Shedeur was asked about Monken's to-be-determined comment, his response was perfect. That's what's expected. I think each and every day I have to prove to everybody and to myself also.
No entitlement, no demands, no drama. Just a competitor ready to work. This is the real Shedeur Sanders, the kid who fell to the 5th round and used it as fuel. the quarterback who survived a brutal rookie season and made the Pro Bowl anyway, the player who's about to prove everyone wrong. And Todd Monken, he's loving what he's seeing. At his press conference, Monkin was asked specifically about the Ravens' reported interest in drafting Shedeur at pick 141 last year. Monkin chose his words carefully. Obviously, we had an affection, like a lot of teams, of Shedeur's skill set and what we thought he could become. An affection. What we thought he could become. Those phrases are loaded with meaning. Monkin isn't just excited about Shedeur, he believes in him. He sees the potential that others are missing. He wanted to draft him in Baltimore, and now he gets to coach him in Cleveland. This is why the Pro Bowl selection makes sense. This is why the Browns are confident despite Shedeur's rough rookie stats. This is why Cleveland hired a first-time head coach who didn't interview anywhere else, because Monkin and Shedeur were always meant to be together. The Cleveland Browns coaching search was one of the strangest in recent NFL history. They required all candidates to take 3 tests, a cognitive test, the Hogan personality test, and a 6-question written exam about the role of a head coach. One of those 6 questions has now been revealed, and it changes everything. How would you develop Shedeur Sanders? That's right, the Browns specifically asked every head coaching candidate to explain in writing how they would develop Shedeur Sanders as a quarterback. Not Dylan Gabriel, not Deshaun Watson, Shedeur Sanders. According to reports, candidates didn't take this as a guarantee that Shedeur would be the starter, but they absolutely got the message that being able to get starter-level play out of Shedeur was seen as a major plus. Think about what this reveals. The Browns organization likes Shedeur Sanders. Several members of the front office and ownership have seen the promise in his skill set and are intrigued by bringing him along in the right environment. They wanted a coach who could develop him, who believed in him, who had a plan for him. Todd Monken had the best answer, because Todd Monken already had a plan for Shedeur before he even interviewed. He'd studied Shedeur's film at Colorado. He tried to convince the Ravens to draft him. He'd watched Shedeur's rookie struggles and knew exactly what went wrong and how to fix it. When Monken answered that question about developing Shedeur Sanders, he wasn't guessing. He was explaining a vision he'd already developed over the past year, a vision of how to maximize Shedeur's talent, the same way he maximized Lamar Jackson's. That's why Cleveland hired him. That's why Monken was their only choice, because this entire process was designed to find the coach who could unlock Shedeur Sanders' potential. And Todd Monken is that coach. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this story is about to explode. February 3rd, 2026, San Francisco, California. The Pro Bowl games. Shedeur Sanders takes the field for the AFC alongside Joe Burrow and Joe Flacco, 3 quarterbacks representing the conference, and 2 of them are connected to the Cleveland Browns. Joe Flacco started the 2025 season as Cleveland's quarterback before getting traded to Cincinnati. He and Shedeur spent months together in the same quarterback room. Now they're reunited at the Pro Bowl, both making their first appearance. When Shedeur saw Flacco at practice, he couldn't help but smile. Talking to a lot of great players, seeing Joe Flacco again with the same sweatpants he wore in practice, everything. The same sweatpants. That small detail reveals something important. Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl champion, a quarterback who's been in the league for 17 years, and he still wears the same practice sweatpants. No flash, no ego, just preparation and consistency. Shedeur is absorbing these lessons, watching how veteran quarterbacks carry themselves, learning their habits and routines. This Pro Bowl trip isn't just an honor for Shedeur, it's education, it's mentorship, it's preparation for what's coming next. During the Pro Bowl flag football game, Shedeur showed flashes of his talent. He threw 2 touchdown passes and completed a 2-point conversion. He connected with Nico Collins for a score. He even threw a touchdown to Broncos offensive tackle Garrett Bowles in a play that showcased the relaxed, fun nature of the event. But Shedeur also had tough moments. He threw 2 interceptions, including one in the red zone picked off by Kevin Byard and another on 3rd and goal that ended an AFC scoring drive. The mistakes reminded everyone that Shedeur is still young, still developing, still learning. But that's the point. The Pro Bowl isn't about perfection, it's about potential. It's about recognizing that despite a rough rookie season statistically, Shedeur Sanders showed enough on film to earn respect from his peers and coaches around the league. And when Shedeur spoke about his experience at the Pro Bowl, his gratitude was genuine. It's amazing. I'm truly thankful for it. I just come in here and I'm like, dang, I really get to be around all these great guys and great coaches. That's not arrogance. That's not entitlement. That's a young quarterback grateful for the opportunity and eager to learn. That's the real Shedeur Sanders that Todd Monken sees. That's the player Monkin is going to develop into a star. Shedeur Sanders is the first Cleveland Browns quarterback to make the Pro Bowl since Derek Anderson in 2008. 18 years, 42 different starting quarterbacks since 1999. Not one of them made the Pro Bowl, until a 5th-round pick named Shedeur Sanders earned the honor in his rookie season.
This isn't just a feel-good story. This is a signal, a sign that something different is happening in Cleveland, that the Browns might finally have found their guy, and with Todd Monken now coaching him, the potential is limitless. Shedeur is also the first Browns quarterback to win his debut start since 1995. 30 years of rookie quarterbacks failing in their first career game until Shedeur Sanders led Cleveland to a 30-10 victory over Carolina in Week 11. These aren't random facts. These are indicators, proof that despite terrible stats, despite the criticism, despite everything working against him, Shedeur Sanders is doing things that Browns quarterbacks haven't done in decades, and he's just getting started. During an appearance on Kay Adams' show, Up and Adams, Shedeur made a statement that should terrify every team that passed on him in the draft. You can see it. It's kind of like mastering how to get to that place all the time. You have flashes. That's the most thing I appreciate about this year, is that I prove to myself I'm able to dominate the league. Dominate the league. Not compete, not survive. Dominate. That's the mentality of a future superstar. That's the confidence of a quarterback who knows he has elite talent. He just needs to find consistency. And with Todd Monken coaching him, that consistency is coming. Shedeur continued, but I'm able to take completions. I'm able to put all of that together. And definitely in games, we have flashes, but I know I'm capable of doing that. Now, to do it on a consistent basis, that's what the goal is. But for me, in this past season, that's what proved to myself. No matter what happened, no matter anything that transpired, you were able to go out there and compete. This is the most important revelation from Shedeur's rookie season. He knows he can make elite throws. He knows he can compete with the best. He saw it on film. He felt it in games. The flashes of brilliance where he looked like a first-round talent. The problem was consistency, the rookie mistakes, the adjusting to NFL speed, the wrong offensive system, but all of that is fixable. All of that is coachable. And with Todd Monken designing plays specifically for Shedeur's strengths, the ceiling is sky high. Right now, the Cleveland Browns have a decision to make at quarterback. They have 3 options on the roster: Shedeur Sanders, Dillon Gabriel, and Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is owed $80.7 million in guaranteed money. His contract is an albatross. He's been injured and ineffective since arriving in Cleveland, but cutting him creates a massive dead cap hit that would cripple the Browns' salary cap, so he's likely staying on the roster, at least for now. Dillon Gabriel was drafted in the 4th round, 50 picks ahead of Shedeur. He started 6 games as a rookie and went 1-5. He threw 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions with a 59.5 completion percentage. Better stats than Shedeur in some areas, but he didn't win, and he didn't make the Pro Bowl.
Then there's Shedeur Sanders. Worse stats, more interceptions, lower completion percentage, but 3 wins in 7 starts, a Pro Bowl selection, a head coach who tried to draft him and now gets to develop him. And most importantly, the flashes of elite talent that suggest superstar potential. Todd Monken has said the starting job is to be determined. There will be competition in training camp, but here's the truth. This isn't really a competition. Barring injury or a complete collapse, Shedeur Sanders is going to be the Cleveland Browns starting quarterback in 2026. Why? Because Monkin wants him, because the organization believes in him, because the Pro Bowl recognized his potential, because the flashes of brilliance in his rookie season showed what he can become, and because when you have a coach who specifically advocated for drafting a player and then gets hired to develop that player, that's not a coincidence. That's a plan. Shedeur knows it too. When asked about the competition for the starting job, he didn't shy away. That's what's expected. I think each and every day I have to prove to everybody and to myself also. That's the attitude of a winner. That's the mindset of a quarterback who's been doubted his entire life and used it as fuel. Shedeur Sanders isn't afraid of competition. He welcomes it because he knows when he's at his best, nobody can beat him. And Todd Monken is about to put him in position to be at his best every single week. Subscribe to this channel right now if you want to follow the Shedeur Sanders and Todd Monken story as it unfolds. This is about to be the most important quarterback-coach relationship in the NFL. The Cleveland Browns finished 31st in scoring offense in 2025. They were dead last in 2024. Back-to-back years of historically bad offensive production. That's the situation Todd Monken is walking into. But Monken has weapons to work with. Jerry Jeudy had over 1,000 yards receiving in 2025. Elite route runner, deep threat, first-round pedigree. Elijah Moore is an explosive playmaker who can take the top off defenses. David Njoku is a Pro Bowl tight end and red zone monster. Nick Chubb, when healthy, is one of the best running backs in football. The pieces are there. They were just being used incorrectly. Kevin Stefanski's offense didn't maximize this talent. The play calling was predictable. The scheme didn't create easy completions or open receivers. The quarterbacks were set up to fail. Todd Monken is going to change all of that. He's going to install a system that gets the ball to playmakers in space, that creates rhythm throws for the quarterback, that uses play action and RPOs to keep defenses off balance, that maximizes the talent on the roster instead of forcing players into roles that don't fit. And at the center of it all will be Shedeur Sanders, running an offense designed specifically for his skill set, making quick reads, delivering accurate throws, using his mobility when needed, playing fast and free instead of hesitant and tentative. Imagine Shedeur in Todd Monken's offense, 70% completion rate instead of 56, 25 touchdowns instead of 7, 8 interceptions instead of 10, 300 yards per game instead of 175. That's not fantasy. That's realistic projection based on what Shedeur did at Colorado in a similar system. Now add the fact that NFL defenses will be preparing for a Todd Monken offense instead of a predictable Kevin Stefanski scheme. Add the fact that Shedeur will have a full offseason to learn the playbook and build chemistry with receivers. Add the fact that he's mentally stronger after surviving the gauntlet of his rookie season. The Browns could go from 31st in scoring to top 15, from 5 wins to 10, from missing the playoffs to competing for the division, all because of the Shedeur Sanders and Todd Monken partnership.
This is not hype. This is projection based on reality, based on what Monkin did with Lamar Jackson, based on what Shedeur did at Colorado, based on the flashes we saw in his rookie year when the system finally clicked for a game or two. The potential is real. The talent is undeniable. The coaching is elite. All the pieces are in place. Now it's just about putting it all together. When Todd Monken told Shedeur Sanders, "We tried to draft your ass last year," he wasn't making small talk. He was revealing a truth that changes everything about the Cleveland Browns' future. Todd Monken believed in Shedeur Sanders when the rest of the NFL was passing on him, when anonymous coaches were calling him entitled and not that good, when he fell all the way to pick 144 in the 5th round. Monken saw past the criticism. He studied the film from Colorado. He saw the 74% completion rate, the 64 touchdowns in 2 years, the accuracy, the processing speed, the leadership. He knew Shedeur was special. He tried to convince the Baltimore Ravens to draft him at pick 141. but Baltimore passed, and 3 picks later, Cleveland grabbed Shedeur. 9 months after that, Cleveland fired their head coach and hired the one coach in the NFL who believed in Shedeur from the beginning. This is destiny. This is fate. This is the universe aligning perfectly for Shedeur Sanders and Todd Monken to finally work together. And the Pro Bowl selection was just the first sign that something special is about to happen. Shedeur's final words about making the Pro Bowl say everything you need to know about his mindset. Thank you, God. I'm beyond excited and extremely grateful for all the love and support from the coaches, players, and fans. This wouldn't be possible without the support behind me. Still plenty of work to do. Still plenty of work to do. That's not the quote of a satisfied player. That's not someone resting on Pro Bowl honors. That's a competitor who knows his rookie season was just the beginning, who understands the real work starts now, who's ready to prove the 5th-round fall was the biggest mistake in NFL draft history. Todd Monken echoed that same competitive spirit at his press conference. When asked what the Browns' ownership expects from him, his answer was blunt and perfect. You know what they expect? A freaking kick-ass football team. That's what they expect. You know what they want? They want to become a winning franchise that our fan base and our region is proud of. My job is to prove it every single day. That's the mentality Cleveland needs. That's the coaching philosophy that will turn Shedeur Sanders into a superstar. No excuses, no moral victories. Just win, dominate, prove everyone wrong. The 143 players drafted before Shedeur Sanders are on notice. The 5 quarterbacks taken ahead of him better be watching film. The anonymous coaches who destroyed his reputation are about to eat their words. The teams that passed on him are going to regret it for the next decade. Because Shedeur Sanders is coming. He's got Todd Monken coaching him. He's got an offense designed for his strengths. He's got motivation from every team that passed on him. He's got a Pro Bowl appearance in his rookie year, despite terrible stats. And he's just scratching the surface of his potential. The Cleveland Browns haven't had a franchise quarterback since Bernie Kosar. 40 years of searching, 40 years of disappointment, 40 years of broken promises and failed draft picks. But that drought is about to end because Shedeur Sanders is the one and Todd Monken is the coach who's going to prove it. Subscribe to this channel right now. Turn on notifications. Share this video everywhere. Comment below and tell me if you think Shedeur Sanders is going to be a top 10 quarterback in 2026. The mainstream media won't tell you this story, but we're exposing the truth. The Browns have their bye. The partnership is perfect. The future is now. Shedeur Sanders and Todd Monken. Remember those names because they're about to shock the world.